Hell is that? Please, God.
This is God.
Hey, this is Rob, aka Anomaly, back for another figure review slash, well, not really an unboxing, but I wanted to actually make this an unboxing, but, you know, I had to open the package up preliminary because I needed to ensure that I had the right figure, and I thought this figure would require some assembly, so I didn't want to be fiddling around with the box and pieces, but come to find out this figure actually came and one whole piece with no assembly. So without further ado, this is Betomatali's 1/6 Freddy Nightmare on Elm Street 1 figure based on the long arm version. We're gonna go into all the details and let you guys know what I think about this piece. I'll tell you guys right off the rip, I'm gonna have to eat a lot of crow on this piece because I had some concerns about this piece initially, and just as you guys will see in the review, you know, a lot of things that I had issues with just simply were not the case. I had owned the original version of this, and I still like it to this day. Shout out to TERZO, that has it. But I was, you know, pleasantly surprised with how this figure came out in terms of the concerns that I had. I mean, Betomatali has been doing this for a long time. He's one of the best artists in the hobby in terms of everything, quality, presentation. You always know you're gonna get a really high-end piece with Betomatali, but in terms of certain things, I just was not sure what to expect, but I had my expectations kind of set moderately, and they were exceeded. So without further ado, again, we're gonna get into the review, and let's see this popping. All right, let's do it. Alright guys, so as always, let's start out with the COA 1/6 custom figure, long arm version, 10th anniversary, 6 out of 10 pieces. And seeing this COA, seeing that it's 10 pieces, it kind of justifies the price, because I won't lie, I thought this was a little pricey, given everything that came with it. You just got a plaque, an extra head, and that's essentially it. But at 10 pieces, it is more limited, and it was more expensive with the 2 versions, so it makes sense. So always a beautiful COA. Love Beto's presentation, of course. And here we got the Nightmare Elm Street plaque, which is a little nicer than they typically are. It's like a very high quality, glossy, actually kind of like a matte finish, but glossy finish. Doesn't show the scratches as much as some of the older ones that he used, and I really love the logo insignia and all that stuff here. So it's just something to add to the presentation. And let's go to the figure, guys. Again, pleasantly surprised that this figure was able to exceed my expectations, man. And again, we got some sculpted boots with lots of weathering, a little bit more weathering than I'm usually accustomed to seeing on a Freddy. I have 3 other Freddys from Betomatali. I also own the older version of this piece, like I said, so I have a good frame of reference. And there was a lot of things that I liked about that older Freddy, such as the pants, as we're looking at right now, just basic black pair of trousers, essentially. Nothing really too complicated, but I really like the way that they were tailored on the prior figure, and how they flowed and how they sat, and I'm seeing that here. I mean, I like the way the pants tie into the waist. They don't look too scrungy. Everything kind of just sits really nicely. They don't look over-tailored, overly wrinkled. All that stuff, guys, drives me nuts personally. I don't know what you guys feel about that, but for me, I don't like seeing any of that. So that was a concern that I had. I like my figures to look like actual humans wearing clothing, and that's how this looks, especially in the waist area. The sweater flows very nicely and ties right in. And again, the sweater was a concern, because I felt initially that the sweater might be a little bit too thick, yarny, and frizzy looking, but compared to the printed sweaters, which Beto used for the Freddy 2 in that particular application. But in looking at this piece, you can clearly see that the sweater does not look all that thick at all. It's not as bulky as I thought it was going to be, and it's actually a really nice sweater. Which one do I prefer still? Probably the printed, but this is not too far behind. I like it. I'm glad to have both, honestly. So again, another concern that is addressed that exceeded expectation. And I don't know if the camera is picking up what we have here in terms of weathering applications, but the prototype that he showed had little to no weathering, but we have weathering throughout the arms of this piece and all over the shirt, lower half, upper half. And again, here's that glove, all metal, plated, with a resin base, real metal blades. I mean, what more can you ask for, guys? We'll get into the head sculpt in a minute. And we got fully sculpted hands that look really dingy and dirty and completely looked apart, lifelike, all that good stuff. Again, other concerns that were addressed and and confirmed stellar. Before we look at the primary head sculpt, let's take a quick look at the secondary head sculpt. I think it's a reissue, just with a different paint app. It's a really good sculpt, so if the wheel ain't broke, don't try to fix it. Paint is good. The paint is good. It's typical Betomatali. Compared to the main sculpt, the primary sculpt, which I'm going to keep on the figure, by the way, it's a little flat. The paint doesn't pop as much. but it's still really good. Let's get a direct front shot. Yep, still really good. So great sculpt. And let's take a look at the primary head here. Primary head, the paint is a lot deeper in my opinion. I like the sculpt. This is different than the original. So this is, I still think it's a reissue because I think this came with the newer Freddy one that he did that came out after the Freddy 2, whereas the original Grinner sculpt, I guess, came before the Freddy 2. So I do think this is a reissue with a different paint app, and this paint app does pop a lot more than the other head, and it looks really good. It actually looks really good. This is top-notch Beto paintwork right here, I must say. My concern was that it was just going to be really flat all around, but the teeth are very yellow and grimy looking. And don't worry, guys, I'll show without the hat. I like what I'm seeing, guys. Let's take the hat off. Let's take a quick look at the hat before I show you guys again what the sculpt looks like without the hat. Very nicely painted. Again, it could be a reissue, but it just looks a little bit more refined. Has a different paint app. Has a lot of nice texture to it, and it looks the part, guys. What more can you want from a Freddy hat? And again, this is the sculpt. Again, from about the hat, and it looks good, guys. Looks good. Looks real good. Let's get a direct front shot, and let's take a step back, guys, and let's take a look at some angles. All right, look at this angle, guys. I don't know if you guys can see. Again, just how lifelike these hands look. Again, fully sculpted. Let's take a look at the bottom. Again, you guys see that weathering. Again, the trousers sit very nicely and contour very, very nicely to the figure. So shout out to Lupita for her tailoring work as always. And again, as you guys may notice, camera and the light may be drowning it out a little bit, but there is a lot of weathering going on here, guys. And sweater is done very well. Figure doesn't look too thick. Sweater doesn't look too thick, and this is that side profile where you guys can kind of see that the paint does pop, and it at least compared to the other head, the secondary head. So this is the head I'm gonna rock because it just looks imposing. But this is basically what we're working with, guys. Let's step back and let's take a look from behind. Again, guys, this is how we're looking from behind. Again, nothing too much going on. Again, can't overemphasize just how nicely these pants look from behind. Kind of got that little drape as well, which is very accurate. Again, tailoring sometimes can be simple, but it's not so simple as getting things to contour to the body of a 1/6 figure correctly. And those are the details. Those are the details that I specifically myself pay attention to and appreciate. Again, guys, sorry if the light's drying out the details a little bit. And again, here's that nice, this phenomenal sweater, I must say. I really must say that I'm digging this sweater, guys. Let's just have a look from behind. It's a dome piece. Yeah, nothing too crazy. I do like all the different colors, the dark browns, the light browns, the black areas, the air and all that. I do appreciate that. Just take a step back and let's take a look at one last angle. So this is what we're looking at for the glove. Again, excellent craftsmanship on this glove. It's all metal blades, copper plating. Beto always has done a great glove. Again, you guys can see that weathering. I'm not sure if this arm actually has a double bend. These arms are definitely longer than the prior Freddy. And they come out, they look different, but I think the mechanism's actually the same. I thought there was kind of like a double bend here, but I'm not exactly sure. But it does look a little bit more refined than the original, and they are longer, so the effect is just a lot more dramatic than the original, but still love the original. And again, here's that side profile, the sculpt, guys. Beautiful sculpt. Again, pops really nice, especially when you got the light on it. Again, love the black areas, love the grimy teeth, got the accurate green eyes. And Freddy's looking gritty here, guys. And let's take a step back and let's wrap it up, guys. Alright guys, so that's going to complete this review from Betomatali, guys. So again, just to reiterate, this figure absolutely exceeded my expectations. Again, I did have concerns regarding the sweater, regarding the weathering, regarding paint applications, and just overall how the figure was going to look, because I own the original one and I liked how things looked on that figure, and I didn't know how that was going to translate into a new figure. So Betomatali shows once again that, you know, sometimes newer can be better, or there can be improvements, and I want to, you know, praise Beto for getting this release out in on a relatively timely fashion. I want to give a shout out to the person, you know, Daniel TERZO, who helped me get this piece at the last minute, because I was not initially on this run, but nonetheless, I'm glad that I got on, and I hope you guys really enjoyed the figure as much as I did, and I hope I showed it off in a good limelight. And with that being said, I'm going to conclude this review. I got more Betomatali pieces on the way. I think Beto's going to be shipping out Wolfman next. He's going to be getting out those Freddy 2s, so congrats to the ones that have the Freddy 2s. I'll be doing a review on my Wolfman. I got other pieces coming from other artists, including one, J. Romero, and a few others here and there. So again, guys, hope you guys enjoyed it. Stay tuned, and I'll see you guys